Welcome to John Lennox, Why I Am a Christian, hosted in Perth, Western Australia in August 2014. As part of the event, Dan Conway, former finalist of Australia's Got Talent, was interviewed and performed 2 songs for us. We hope you enjoy Dan Conway's performance.
It's my pleasure to introduce you to my good mate, singer-songwriter Dan Conway, who's going to perform a few songs for us from his new album, Lazarus Come Forth, and then we'll hear some of his story of how God has radically changed his life. Let's give a hand to Dan Conway.
Thank you very much. There's a lot of you. Well, it's a joy to be here tonight. Not even 2.5 years ago, I was watching a debate online between Professor Richard Dawkins and Professor John Lennox. And I was genuinely disappointed that Professor Dawkins wasn't doing as well as I'd hoped, and Professor Lennox was doing better than I'd hoped. The tables have turned, and Professor Lennox has played no small part in challenging my thinking and leading me to a very interesting and special place. And so it's a joy to be here tonight to play for you all on the same stage that he will speak on. This first song is called The Plan. Oh, what is man, you would be mindful of him. Oh, what is true, that you would write it down in the palm of your hand. You are the garden, I am the man. I've got the life, you got the plan. Everybody talks about a brand new start. What good is it if you got the same old heart? You can dance the dance, hold the hand of the devil, but I don't think he'll let you win. Oh, what is man? You would be mindful of him. Oh, what is true? You would write it down in the palm of your hand. You are the garden, I am the man. I've got the life, you've got the plan. One day you wake up and it was only a dream. You stand in a moment with everything that you've ever seen. You see the gates, you hear the voice, you fall to your knees, you made your choice. Oh, what is man that you would be mindful of him? Oh, what is truth that you would write it down in the palm of your hand. You are the garden, I am the man. I've got the life, you've got the plan. Not another day without your love. 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 is truth, that you would write it down in the palm of your hand. You are the God and I am the man. I've got the life, you got the plan. You are the God and I am the man. I've got the life, you got the plan. Living in your grace, walking in your ways, bring me to life, Jesus.
Connors, take a seat, mate. So, Dan, we've got some questions for you. Where are you from? What should we know about Dan Conway?
Okay. Well, I was born in Brisbane. Anyone know where that is? I've realised it's a long way away now that I'm in Perth. I was born there, yeah, and my family are all still there, so that's where I consider home. What should you know? Well, I don't have a football team yet. I'm a musician, a songwriter. I've been doing that for a long time, and it led me south. So I went to Tamworth first, regional New South Wales, then Sydney, then Melbourne, then Perth.
Right, so Perth. So you'd probably be familiar with that scene in The Lion King where Mufasa and Simba are sitting up on Pride Rock, kind of surveying their territory, and Simba says, "What about that shadowy place?" And Mufasa's like, "That's beyond our borders, Simba. You must never go there." You know, do you think that's how people over east feel about Perth? You know? You must never go there?
Possibly.
Okay. All right, well, Dan, you're quite a recent follower of Jesus. But before that was made certain for you, did you identify with any particular religion, spirituality, or worldview?
No. And so my parents, neither of my parents were religious in any way. I don't think I've been in a church until I was 21, 22. I'm 26 now. So really no interaction with anything God or church related. I think I pretty much lived on the fence between atheism and agnosticism for my life. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So when then did music begin to be a serious outlet for you in regards to the deeper questions of life?
Pretty early. I discovered the guitar when I was young, so 9 or 10, and I discovered the guitar in a broken home. So broken relationships, alcohol and drugs. And I saw a bit of that, and so music was a bit of an escape for me, and I treated it that way for a long time. I think searching for identity and meaning as a young guy, music seemed to offer those things, but I found as time went on that it couldn't deliver.
Right. Okay, so I've seen a few clips of you on Australia's Got Talent, and you did pretty well. You were a finalist, and then they asked you back to come and be a guest performer at the grand final. So it seems as though things are going really well, like talking about what music did for you. Why the sudden kind of change of direction?
Yeah, so in some ways I guess things were going well. As you said, I got to perform on Australia's Got Talent a bunch. I was even on X Factor for about 8 seconds. I'm no stranger to the music business. So I had a record deal when I was 16 with Sony, and another one I think sometime later with EMI. So it was no stranger to all that, but I was actually really unhappy, and I was only growing more unhappy, and I wasn't living well. The more time went on, the more I was hurting myself and others. It wasn't pretty. I guess I came to a place where I just wanted to think, maybe there's something to this God thing, and maybe I've missed it. So I thought, I want to know. I want to know. I don't want to really be into what feels good or what suits me. I actually want to know what's the truth. And so I committed. I thought, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to commit to following the evidence where it leads. I became a regular debate viewer online and read, books on God's existence. When I got real radical, I listened to a sermon or two, all as an atheist. So, but the most crucial part of that was really when I examined my own heart, and did that very last. But when I saw what was in there, and when I considered who Jesus might be, that led me to belief in God. And so everything changed at that point. I guess I had a change, really a change of being, somewhere deep, I don't even know where, and that changed my thinking, my desires, my outlook. So I guess it was natural that my music changed with it.
So it sounds like it was a bit of an intellectual exercise as well as a kind of emotional exercise. It wasn't just one or the other.
No.
Yeah. So, Dan, some of the words you've written on this latest album are quite profound. I've enjoyed it. And some are actually straight from the Bible. The beginning of the song called The Plan begins with the words which we just heard. What is man that you are mindful of him? Citing Psalm 8 verse 4. How did you come to find certainty and comfort in this kind of a statement?
Yeah. Well, I heard that verse shouted out by a certain Oxford mathematician during one of his talks, and it scared me. He shouted it pretty loudly in the middle of the talk, but it also wouldn't let me be. It would not leave me. The question, what is so special about us? What is so special about humans that God would care for us, that he would be mindful of us, really bugged me, because I'd come to see that, humans can be truly wicked and do horrible things. So that puzzled me. But then I came to learn that God's interest in us is not a response to our goodness, but as a consequence of his goodness. So I got a big comfort from that, and I think also it just was a window into who God is and what he's like.
Right. So in the music and lyrics of this album, one thing I began to notice is that you aren't merely singing about a new set of beliefs, but you're also singing about a new experience. Can you explain why that's the case? Why it isn't just a cerebral activity?
Yeah. It goes back to what you said before about intellectual stuff. The time that I took to look into whether or not God was a reality was about 2 years. And about halfway through that time, I began to see that Christianity made sense of the world. I was convinced of that. And so I thought, well, I'll identify as a Christian. And I even started to pray. But it was merely intellectual. It was merely a way of seeing the world with my mind. And my life hadn't changed. Actually, I was probably in the darkest place I'd ever been at that point. I really needed to... What happened was I understood that the problem wasn't my head, it was my heart. So it wasn't until December of 2012, over bacon and eggs, that I guess it's relevant because it's a specific time in the morning, you see. And I guess I realised that I'd been seeking God for a long time on my own terms, and it had just been another thing that was all about me. And I'd never really considered seeking God on his terms, as a person, as a father. It had always been, God, reveal yourself to me in this way, or write such and such in the sky, all about me.
Right. Right.
And so when I went through that thought process, gazing into my bacon and eggs, I knew God, and I knew that I knew I was responsible. I knew I was accountable to Him,
Yeah.
and I knew that things weren't going to be the same after that.
Yeah. So then, if this was your last opportunity to say something about God, what would you say?
I guess I would point to Jesus. I'm a person who's come to believe that Jesus is who He claimed to be, and no one made claims like Jesus. No one made promises like Him, and if they're true, then it changes everything. If Jesus rose from the dead, it changes everything. So I would say, look at Him, look at His life, look at what He said, look at what He did, and ask the question that I asked, which is, who is this? Who is Jesus?
So you'd encourage people to start their own investigation. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Dan. You've got another song for us.
I do.
I'll sit down and we'll hear it.
Wow. What a thrill. There really is a lot of you. As Jordan mentioned, I was lucky enough to perform on Australia's Got Talent for a bit, but that's just a few people in the room. The people watching are all on TV or in their lounge room. So this is quite cool. Once again, thank you so much for having me. I have to thank the organisers for letting me be part of this. It's been an absolute joy. This song that I'll leave you with is basically a song that I wrote after the explosion in my heart at realising the joy of serving others in light of Jesus and the fact that He came not to be served, but in fact to serve. It's called Neighbour. Take a look out in the street, my love. Tell me what you see. Take a look out your window, brother. Can you help me? I can't stop these tears from falling down. I can't stop these years from pouring out. I know you can hear it fall in the sky. It's just a matter of time. I wanna put off the old, the new has come. I'm gonna give my heart to the Holy One. I wanna take this man and serve the Lamb. I wanna love you like I was your neighbor. That's what I am. I'm gonna be your servant, my friend. On the day every knee does bow, I'm gonna be a servant again. Gotta give it up for the one who saw the sin in the world and gave His only Son. Whosoever believeth in Him, drink of the water and see that it's good. What are we gonna do about all the fighting? How are we gonna stop the bleeding? What are we gonna do about all the writing on the wall that is dividing? I can't stop these tears from falling down. I can't stop these years from pouring out. I know you can hear it fall in the sky. It's just a matter of time. I wanna put off the old, the new has come. I'm gonna give my heart to the Holy One. I wanna take this man and serve the Lamb. I wanna love you like I was your neighbor. That's what I am. I'm gonna be your servant, my friend. On the day every knee does bow, I'm gonna be your servant again. Gotta give it up for the one who saw the sin in the world and gave his only son. Whomsoever believeth in him, drink of the water and see that it's good. I know you can hear it fall in the sky. Matter of time. Wanna put off the old, the new has come. I'm gonna give my heart to the Holy One. I wanna take this man, serve the Lamb. I wanna love you like I was your neighbor. That's what I am. I'm gonna be your servant, my friend. On the day every knee does bow, I'm gonna be your servant again. Gotta give it up for the one who saw the sin in the world and gave his only son. Whomsoever believeth in him, drink up the water and see that it is good. 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 Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching Dan Conway at John Lennox, Why I Am a Christian. For more information about upcoming events, please visit us online at www.credoperth.org. If you would like to find out more about Dan Conway's music, please visit him online at www.facebook.com/danconwaymusic.